Good morning everyone, good evening, good afternoon as well. Today we get some news at the start of this weekend. We get some news about Season 4 because Blizzard came out and announced for us a bunch of new things that are going to be most of which are going to be positive, both for the competitive side of the player base, both for the more casual side of the player base. It's a bunch of good changes that will likely please the community. So as we go over what Blizzard has announced, I would like to start from what I believe to be the most important one, that will also touch the widest part of the player base because it's the change to Valor and to Conquest points. We have the announcement, as of yesterday, from Blizzard saying Valor will be reset in Season 4. So at the start of Season 4, August the 2nd, the reset of August the 2nd, Valor will be reset, but it won't have any caps for the season's duration. Conquest will be reset with a higher weekly cap than previous seasons, then go to be fully uncapped after a few weeks into the season. So the first big news is that you will not be capped by just a couple of upgrades every week on your gear with Valor. Now you will be able to just continuously upgrade the gear as long as you earn Valor. Now, we haven't gotten the actual distinction as to whether or not Valor upgrades are still going to be limited by the branches of your Mythic Plus rating. So you're going to be limited at how much item level can you upgrade based on the rating you have, but I am going to assume that it's still going to be the way they will go at. They will just be uncapping the Valor. But then again, if Valor is uncapped, to earn that much Valor, you need to run that many Mythic Plus keys. So it's believable, right, that you will be upgrading your rating over time the more you upgrade Valor. It also, I would say it also is kind of fair. Imagine if someone just parks himself in a +5 key and just constantly farm +5 for infinite Valor. He would be able to constantly upgrade all of his gear to 272 while all he did is just farm +5 keys. So even though Valor is going to be uncapped, I'm pretty sure it's still going to have the branches limited by your rating like this season, which is still something perfectly fine. I wouldn't complain too much about it. I'm much more happy about the fact that now Valor will be uncapped. Finally, you will be able to easily target one of your loot pieces from Mythic Plus immediately, and by immediately I mean after a few Mythic Plus runs, bring it up to 272, particularly for example a weapon, right? You loot a weapon, you loot a powerful trinket, now you will be able to, you will have an extra incentive in Season 4 in running Mythic Plus because Valor is uncapped, right? Previously, in Season 3, you get maybe even 2 or 3 good items in Mythic Plus, but you know that you can only upgrade them by 2 levels because you only have 800 or something Valor per week. So after you got 2 upgrades, you have to wait next week anyways. You have no more incentives in running Mythic Plus, for example, if you don't particularly need the gear, or if you only have 1 or 2 items missing and the chance of getting a good one is very, very rare. But now this will be a very good way to give more incentive to the player base to continue playing Mythic Plus for the first few weeks, because now an upgrade is still going to be there every single key. Because every single key will give you Valor, it's not going to be capped, which means you will get closer and closer to upgrading your gear the more Mythic Plus keys you run. So I think that's a very good addition at the start of Season 4, the removal of the Valor cap. We don't know exactly the numbers of the Conquest increased higher weekly cap, so we can't talk about the PvP side of the currency yet. But I'm going to assume, of course, that is going to be better than what we have now, since it's going to be higher anyways. Talking about other things Blizzard has announced for Season 4, we have some more stuff about achievements, about rewards. So we know, this is still confirmed, okay, let's not jump ahead of this. Ahead of the curve and Cutting Edge are going to be feats of strength, okay? They're going to go away once Season 4 starts, you will not be able to have them anymore. However, Blizzard has come to a decision. Once Season 4 opens, the Mythic Mount of Sylvanas and the Mythic Mount of the Jailer are still going to be available until the end of Shadowlands. So for the entirety of Season 4, you will be able to continue to defeat these 2 bosses and earn their mounts. Now, It's also logical, since in Season 4 you will have to deal with Sanctum in Mythic, which means you will have to re-defeat Sylvanas, and then with Sepulchre in Mythic, which means you will have to re-defeat the Jailer, so defeating them should have still given you the mounts, right? The reason why you don't see Denatrius being extended this treatment is because for some reason Castonatria did not have Denatrius dropping you a mount. Castonatria does not have a specific mount tied with Denatrius, so there is nothing to extend for Season 4 for him. It's just for the mount of Sylvanas and the mount of the Jailer. The mounts will then go to have the current treatment of previous expansion mounts, so from the 100% drop rate they will go back to having their 1% or whatever drop rate, just like previous bosses and their mount drop chances. Also, in case you have forgotten, this is something that was announced weeks ago anyways, the ahead of the curve mount is also going to remain obtainable from the Jailer. So ahead of the curve is going away in Season 4, cutting edge is going away in Season 4, but not the mounts that you get from defeating the Jailer, and even the mount that you get from defeating Sylvanas in Mythic. So those rewards are still going to be in the game, the mounts at least. We also have an additional tidbit from Blizzard about Cosmic Flux, because even though it is true that we know the Creation Catalyst is going to stay in the game, the Creation Catalyst requires Cosmic Flux, and Cosmic Flux perhaps is going to be reset next season. But there is a problem. By next season you will likely already be exalted with the Enlightened. You won't be needing to do daily quests and world quests over and over to keep grinding the open world content in Season 4. So what would be your incentive to keep grinding Cosmic Flux, right? There would be very, very little. So Blizzard is stating that they are still deciding what to do, but we're going to be addressing Cosmic Flux availability when Season 4 launches or shortly thereafter. I am more positive because they are also addressing the availability of the Flux for alts, for other characters, not just for your main. So that's my hope. They hope that Cosmic Flux will be made account-wide, or at the very least have the usual vendor selling you a bind-on-account item that you can use to send Cosmic Flux to alts. The last of the changes, or the last of the announcements, which is actually a long one, is the one about the vendor. So in case you don't know, Season 4 has this new, among many of the new test systems from Blizzard that they are trying out in Season 4, there is also this vendor. There is going to be a vendor keeping all of the best in slot stuff for each of the 3 raids we will be going into. So the best weapons, right, the best trinkets, the tokens for the tiers, or the token for the weapons in Castonatria, etc., will be kept by this guy. However, it's going to take you 3 weeks to get the first token for you to be able to get this first reward, and then 2 more resets to get the 2 more tokens, for a total of 6 weeks. So it's gonna take you essentially a month and a half of resets in Season 4 to get all 3 tokens, all 3 dinars, which allow you to get your best in slot items. In the statement, Blizzard is saying that they are planning to cut this 6 weeks requirement to a 4.5 to 5 week range instead, which I still think it's somewhat too slow. I think that after the first 3 weeks, which is Castonatria week, into Sanctum week, into Sepulchre week, I think that by the end of Sepulchre week we should be able to get our first best in slot item. We just went through a full rotation of raids. It's time to choose which of the best in slot items from one of the 3 raids we want. I think that would be a good timing. 4.5 to 5 week range, I still think it's weird. There is also another addition they are talking about. We also heard a lot of feedback about how if you joined late into Season 4 and you had alts you wanted to play, you will be met with a pretty large wall of quests and boss kills necessary to access the system, because this system, the token to earn your best in slot, requires you to kill bosses every week until you earn your dinar. And we felt that this was like a counter to what we implemented with the Creation Catalyst, because the Creation Catalyst keeps accumulating charges every week, even for characters you haven't even created. They will still benefit from the charges of the Creation Catalyst. So this new system is kind of counterintuitive, because it will penalize you for not clearing bosses every week on all the characters you want to play. So we don't have an exact answer yet, exact details to be decided, but after a certain period we will be heavily reducing the requirements for these 3 quests, for the 3 tokens to get your 3 best in slot items. The way the initial progression experience of early Season 4 is intact, but the later it goes, the easier it's going to be for your alt characters to catch up on these juicy best in slot items for you in Season 4. This announcement, this Q&A set of answers for Season 4 also goes on to add that Season 4 will continue to give you portals to the locations of the dungeons where you are completing keys at the +20 level. So Grimwell Depot, Iron Docks, Karazhan and Mechagon will be able to earn you a portal if you complete them at the +20 level. There is also still going to be, of course, the scaling backwards of the keys. So last season we went from Season 2 to Season 3 and the +15 became +20. So now going from Season 3 to Season 4, it is likely that perhaps you're gonna get another scaling of the difficulty of the keys. So it's not gonna be as easy as it is now. Perhaps it's going to be slightly harder, but still, you have some more goals to reach a certain level higher than what you can already stop doing in Mythic Plus once you get your max item level reward. I still think it's too little. I still think just a measly amount of portals as a reward for pushing high keys is far too little of an incentive to push people into Mythic Plus. But I'm gonna stop here with the complaints and hope they're gonna be doing something for Dragonflight at the very least. For now, this is all we have got. This is all we have got for the news and the changes planned for the incoming Season 4, which is now, I guess, 3 resets away, 23 days or something away anyways. Most of these, as I said, were pretty positive. There is nothing to be too annoyed about these changes. So I'm pretty happy with all of these announcements. In particular, of course, I am mostly a fan of the removal of the Valor cap for you to be able to upgrade Mythic Plus gear. Of course, this might start another set of complaints. This might start the set of complaints that what is the purpose of doing heroic raiding now? You literally can farm 24/7 Mythic Plus now, upgrade it at above heroic level 24/7, you know? This is the equivalent in Season 3, without using Season 4 item level. This is as if at the start of Season 3, you could spam Mythic Plus, get 262 items, upgrade them at 272 every day with no Valor cap, while you were getting 265s from heroic raiding. You know, why would you do that? What's even the point? That perhaps could be what is going to arise as the next discussion of the imbalance of the loot available in Mythic Plus compared to heroic raiding. But for now, we're gonna stop here. I'm going to leave this possible debate a few days or a few weeks from now if it becomes problematic enough. Let's just say that. So for now, we can stop here. Thank you guys for watching the video and for helping to grow and support the channel, which of course also includes liking and commenting down below. Down below, and of course subscribing to this channel as well. That would be greatly appreciated. What would also be greatly appreciated is to follow me on Twitter for, I don't know, impressions, clout, I don't know what it is exactly, but it works like this. And you can also, of course, subscribe to my Patreon, which will give you access to my Discord channel. If you ever want to be close, if you don't think you are simping enough and you want to ask perhaps some questions about future content, some tips, some personal questions even about my family, my background, history, that perhaps might be a little bit too much, but maybe if it's not too intrusive, we can share a few words together on Discord. We will see. With this being said, thank you guys anyways, see you guys soon, and in the meantime, I don't know, I hate it when it baits me with rain, with some wind, some chilly air, and then it's just nothing. It's sun again. So annoying.